So I don't really do much of an intro. I just get straight to it, you know.
Let's get straight to it.
But I'll say who you are and
Sounds
everything.
good.
So
Cool. You wanna?
all right, so we're gonna open the Austin Kelly show with a canned Moscow Mule. But before we do that, let me tell you who I'm here with. We're here with the lead singer of Viper Club. What do I even call you? Jackson, Jack, Sex Appeal,
Jackson Lee.
Jackson Lee.
Yeah.
There you go, Jackson Lee from Viper Club, and he also has his solo music out.
I do.
Great stuff.
Thank you.
ready
Thank you
to-
so much. Let's crack it.
Let's crack these
it
open
out?
like King
All
of the
right.
Hill. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, is it a third crack? Oh,
Third crack.
the third crack. Martin with the third crack.
Cheers.
Martin.
Cheers, man. Cheers. Let's see how this is my
Cheers.
first time tasting this in a can. Let's see.
It's not a bad smell.
I feel like these are dangerous.
I don't hate it. Yeah.
I don't hate it at all either.
Yeah, it's
They're
good.
warm.
But if it was cold, I see what you mean.
Yes.
Like this would be
It'd be better.
effing me up.
Yeah.
You know?
What do you think, Martin?
I agree with you guys.
Call him
Yeah.
by name.
It was covered in ice.
Yes.
Oof.
I know.
Like a slushy.
I like the way you said that. Covered in ice. That's a good one, Martin.
Whew. Well, these are
Yeah.
good. These
These are
this will do
great.
the trick.
I like that.
Fun fact: I'm not a big drinker,
I'm not really too big.
so
of a
this is
drinker.
gonna like maybe make me a little tipsy. Just this one can. So we'll see.
That's cool.
Yeah. What's your favorite drink?
be
You said
chatty.
this is your favorite drink, right?
A Moscow Mule is my go-to for sure.
Yeah. So I did ask him what he wanted. He did say Moscow Mule. Why?
Pretty. If I'm being honest with you, when I was like, so I didn't really drink when I was like 21, a whole lot, and then I started drinking a lot when I was 22.
Oh, yeah.
And my buddy just put me on to Moscow Mules like from the get-go, and I think, well, I had a brief rum and coke era, and then he was like, "Hey, try a Moscow Mule," and I was like, "This is delicious," and it tastes so like refreshing every time to me. So I'm like, I just love these now. So now every time I go to a bar, like even my friends, if they get there first, will just order one for me because
know.
they just know
That's your
I'm
go-to.
gonna get it either way. So, but yeah, so that's why I love the Mule.
How many times have you been fucked up off of Moscow Mules?
More times than I have fingers and toes.
There you go.
Quite a few. Yeah. But now I don't really get down like I used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more tame.
More tamed.
Yeah.
yeah. How were you when you were untamed?
I was a lot, I feel like. I was, I was like just I was kind of always waiting for it, like just to go be crazy because I feel like it was somewhat of like a coping mechanism for me. So I just used it all the time. And I spent like about 2 years of my life like that. And then after that, I decided I was like, I think at some point I need to like find some responsible like anchor to myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
need to like chill.
Yeah.
But like not chill, like be afraid to do anything or like experience anything scary, but like just
Just
maybe
have discipline in a
yeah,
sense.
discipline. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm going to make a crazy decision, I would hope that there's some kind of like good part to it at the end of the day rather than just like doing some bullshit to do some bullshit. You know what I mean?
See, I used to be that way too, actually.
Gotcha.
And then
Yeah.
2 years ago on New Year's Eve, so not New Year's Eve going into this year, but New Year's Eve going into 2023.
Yeah.
Crazy New Year's Eve party. Me and my friends threw a New Year's Eve party at our house, and
Love that.
yeah, it was great. Typical, woo, like drunken times.
Some big woo girl energy. Huh?
Yeah. But like the next morning on New Year's Day, I was hangover, threw up like 5 times.
Yeah.
And my 3 friends, they were like just cleaning up after the party in the morning. And I felt so bad. I could not help. I was like in cold sweats. I'm like, guys, I can't help. I'm sorry. That kind of that was a deciding factor for me to like chill. I'm like, I don't want to feel like that anymore, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like that.
I feel you. I've had a couple wake ups where I find like everything I ate on my shoes. Like, like one time I remember, oh man.
I love how this is what we're talking about first
Yeah,
then.
we're just going to go into drinking.
Yeah.
But like, I remember one time my friend and I, he's going to love that I'm telling this story right now. But shout out Timo. Timo. But we were celebrating the Cybertruck, like what's it called, like the keynote or like whatever they do. We weren't like celebrating it, but we just wanted to watch it because we were like, oh, this is probably like a crazy vehicle, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
And so I go over to the studio and we're just hanging out and we start drinking this bottle, and we eventually all we're doing is watching the Cybertruck. There's no reason for us to be like.
That thing's a
Crazy.
beast, by the way.
Yeah, it's crazy,
Yeah.
right? And I guess maybe that's why we like drank to completion that night because it was like
I probably would have done the same thing.
we like
honestly.
we found ourselves on Mill Avenue like 2 hours later, and we were like, "How the hell did we get here?" And it was honestly the most drunk night of my life, and it all started with just the Cybertruck. Like I don't know why it was the Cybertruck.
Thanks,
And-
Elon, for
Yeah,
that one.
thanks Elon for hey buddy, thanks. And I woke up the next day after a night of headassery, and I walked outside and saw my shoes, which my boots, and they were covered in my vomit.
And you don't remember throwing
I
it.
don't. I was like, I don't even remember putting him out there. So maybe Tim like put him out there for me. I mean, he's an angel, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past him. But like at the same,
He probably
yeah.
helped you out, man.
He probably did. Yeah. He actually that night he carried me to 2 different lifts because we would miss one like because we were both fucked up, but I was like a little more.
Yeah.
And then he would like carry me, and he finally got me into one.
He was the slightly more coherent one.
He saved me.
Yeah.
He truly did. that
See,
night, that
now
fateful
it's
night.
good to have friends like that save you. Like they're just as fucked up as you are,
Yeah.
but there always has to be that one that is
Yeah.
more, I guess. What's the word?
Yeah, Tim-
Responsible?
Yeah, like they got their head
They
more
got
on
their-
a swivel, like when yours is more in like a
Yeah.
you know.
It's like, oh, don't mind
Not-
him. He's,
Yeah.
he's in his world right now. Don't
He's
mind him.
fine.
He's fine.
He's just exercising demons.
Don't mind the throw up coming out. You're good.
Yeah, that was a fun night. I'll tell you.
So I saw a story that you did recently, and I want you to elaborate on this.
Yes.
You said you have spent the last 5 months beating your own ass in the morning. And then you threw up. Speaking of more throw up.
Yeah.
Nice little segue there.
Yeah. Well, I've always loved working out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I've never been like super, like I've had moments where I'm like disciplined with it, where
Yeah.
I'll go for like 2 or 3 months and it's just working out and stuff. And part of me being tame now is kind of that because I realized that when I worked out more and I like paid more attention to my fitness, my health, and like my nutrition, like what goes into me, I was just a happier person, which is like weirdly
More
stupid
clear-minded.
to say.
and-
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
like I feel like that's kind of a thing that goes without saying, but like everybody gets to where they have to learn something that's obvious.
It always
you
takes
know?
that one breaking point.
Yeah, totally. And so that's what I meant by that. I just like every morning for the last 5 months, or 5 days a week, to be fair.
5 days a week. Yeah.
Like I've just been waking up and getting after it, and yeah, at times
you
I
have a
will-
regular workout routine too, like what to work out every morning. And
Yeah, I have like I kind of bounce around, but like I do have like a specific, like I'll do legs first and then back. And I'm not really one of those people that does like a leg day and then like a chest day and like a arm day or whatever. I'm too too bugged out for that shit. Like I just have to do it all,
Yeah.
And
so you do full body workouts?
Yeah, I
Every-
kind of just
holy
full
shit.
body like
Damn, you
workouts.
really be beating
and-
your own ass. in the morning. Damn.
Yeah, but I love it because it does ground me in a way, like you know,
Yeah.
and like I feel like it helps the rest of the day seem like a lift because I get up and I do something somewhat difficult for myself, and then I go the rest of my day and everything just kind of seems up. Not every day is like that. Sometimes
No.
there's bullshit, and then
Oh yeah, not every day's perfect.
yeah,
Believe
and
me.
stuff happens, but
Yeah.
but yeah, it's been a good thing for me, especially these last like 5 months.
Yeah.
which
So
is
do you wake up pretty early?
good. About 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your morning routine like?
My morning routine.
The morning routine of Jackson Lee
Oh my god.
to help skyrocket the day.
Wake up, smoke a cigarette. Drink no. I wake up and I shower, which is so stupid. I have this thing. Everyone's gonna think I'm a dirty bitch for saying this. But I shower before I go to the gym, and then I just go about my day. I don't know why I do it like that. It's
Yeah.
wrong that I do it like that. I know it's bad, but I do it, and
Yeah.
it's like like
just
when
extra greasy
when something
throughout the
gets
day.
stuck in your routine, it's hard to
Like kind
flip it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I just like I do that, but I wake up and I take a shower. I take like supplements and shit like that. Then I take a shower.
Yeah.
Because they don't work if you don't take them before you shower.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
It's just how they work, obviously.
Yeah.
And everyone knows that.
Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. I'll even point at this one for you. Everyone knows
Yeah,
that.
and I'll point at this one and this one. I do a
Yes.
lot of that. Like
A lot of pointing.
Yeah.
Do you point at people too in public? Like,
I do be pointing, but like not at people I don't know because I don't want to
Okay,
get like beat up. But like but yeah, then I get ready to go to the gym. I'm there. I'm not there like super long. Like I work out like maybe 25, like 30 minutes, 35 minutes.
just to get a good pump in,
Yeah, like it's because like I go so much like during the week. Like if I was going like 3 days a week, I'd go longer.
Yeah.
But it's just because I have to work out to a point and then like let my body like recover, because during the week when you work out 5 days a week, it's like your recovery time is obviously shortened because you have.
That's crazy. 5
2
days a
days.
week, full body though. That's man.
Yeah, no, it's sometimes it's a lot, and like sometimes I wake up and I'm like I don't want to go, so I don't,
Yeah.
and that's just normal. But like,
I mean,
but-
I have those days too,
Yeah.
That's for me though. If I were to start working out first, if I were to shower and then work out and then go the whole day without showering again, first of all, that'd be a little bit more questionable for me because I use the sauna.
Oh,
Yeah,
Good move.
every day I go to the gym. I after I'm done working out, I use the sauna afterwards to like
Nice.
just decompress. But anyways,
That's
yeah,
cool.
that would be a nasty move for me if I.
yeah, I mean it's a nasty move for me too. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good move for anybody really, but I
know,
mean, it's kind of how I roll in that way.
Yeah, talk
Yeah.
to us about your doggy.
My dog. Oh my God. I could talk about we could do this whole podcast just talking about my dog
Yeah.
because I love my dog. I'll tell you how I got my dog. It was,
What's your dog's name, by the way?
my dog's name is Rue.
Rue.
She's a wonderful little girl. She's my favorite thing in the world. And it was like a couple of years ago. I was thinking about getting a dog. Like I'm a single man myself, so sometimes you're just like, I just want a buddy to hang out with. And so I was like, I'm gonna get a dog. And so I did. And I was going to go look at this like chocolate lab, and my mom found this other dog, and she was like persistent that I go look.
Yeah.
My mom loves dogs, so she'll be like, oh, just go look at that one, buy that one, get that one, like.
Yeah.
And she's like, go look at her, and I was like, okay, it's not like the dog I'm like looking for, but I'll go,
Right.
And so I go to this. It was like a foster, like humane society, like person that was fostering for the humane society. So it was at somebody's house.
Oh, okay.
And I pull up, and the garage is open, and I walk up the driveway, and there's one dog in there, and it was Rue, and she's all alone, and she had parvo, so like
Aw.
she was late getting adopted because they didn't think she would make it. And I found her, and I just like something in me was just like, you're lonely, I'm lonely. Come home with me. Like I was just like,
Yeah.
this is kind of perfect. Like and then I just kind of fell in love with her immediately, and I was like,
Two lonely beings meet.
yeah, we
You
just we did we I feel like we really helped each other in that way because
Yeah.
and maybe she would say different, but at least in my opinion, she's definitely been in like all jokes aside, she's actually been like great for me. Like
Yeah.
just because like I mean, she can't talk or anything like that, but just like having something like to take care of like that is like so rewarding in
It's
a
like
way.
a baby,
Yeah, it's like a baby, and like it's like
Yeah.
like when shit gets crazy and stuff, and my dog like just wants to throw a ball. It really kind of, for me at least, it just puts things in perspective. I'm like,
Takes your mind off of
yeah, I'm like,
real life shit.
right.
you know?
I'm like, let's just go throw a ball. Like,
Yeah.
whatever the bullshit. Like, yeah, let's just go do that.
Yeah, I saw this. This I don't know if you want to call it a meme, but it was on Instagram, a picture meme or whatever. Of like, it showed like a drawing of a man and a dog sitting at a bench, and then the idea bubbles or cloud bubbles what the man's thinking of, like, oh, he's thinking about his job, his money troubles and relationship, whatever. These cloud bubbles, and then the dog is just thinking of that moment of them just
Yeah.
sitting together, while this man is just thinking of all these other things. And it's
That's
like-
so real.
and that's why dogs are
They're great.
they rely on you for everything.
They're grounding. Like
Yeah.
they really are. Like, I mean, that's a cool, you got to send me that one.
Yeah, I will. I'll find it
I'm going
too.
to get that framed in my house. Like
Yes,
that's great.
And that's true. It's like, damn, because
Yeah.
anytime I'm going through shit, like my dogs have always been there for me.
What kind of dogs do you have?
A hound, blue tick hound, black blue tick hound. Yeah. Had a Chihuahua. She passed away
Oh.
recently in November. Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Heart disease too.
Oh my god.
I know.
Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah.
Spent money on the meds, everything. Try to do. I lived a good life, 12 years,
Wow.
and lived a year with the meds.
Wow.
But at the end, it just kind of took a toll.
Yeah. Sometimes it's time.
But yeah, like my dog now, 14, still fucking
Let's go.
kicking
dude.
in.
14
she
kicking
outpaces me
ass.
on hikes too.
I was 14. I was an idiot. dude.
I know. I was a fucking idiot.
I was a
too.
fucking idiot when I
Yeah.
was 14.
What was your childhood like?
My childhood. Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, my childhood was interesting. For me, I was born here, and then we moved back to St. Louis, where my mom was from, and my dad's from Iowa.
Gotcha.
And so we moved back there. My brother was born, and we lived there for like about 7 or 8 years of about 8 years of my childhood.
Wow.
Then we moved back out, 9 years actually. Moved back out here, and then I've been here ever since. So that was like 2007, just about. Excuse me. And like growing up here was weird because in the Midwest, like, everyone like plays outside. Like I grew up playing outside in like the cul-de-sac and going out and just
like good old days.
yeah, just beating the shit out of your friends for no reason. Like it's fun,
Yeah, yeah.
And then I moved out here, and it was really weird because maybe it was just the neighborhood I was in, but like no one played outside, and I was like, I wonder why. Like this is so weird.
Was it summertime maybe? Like,
It was.
Okay.
So that made sense.
yeah.
Like, but then like even later, like in spring or like winter, like when it was great outside, there was just like
Nothing.
tumbleweed street. I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, why is no one?
Wow.
So my brother and I have always been tight, but like we really got close when we moved out here because we were just like, that's that's just what we did. And
How much younger or older is he?
he's 2.5 years younger than me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you would think he's older than me.
Oh, really?
It's just how he talks and carries himself. He's very
Yeah. How old are you?
mature. I'm 26.
So he's 24.
Almost
Okay.
said 27, but I'm not yet.
I'm 28.
Hey, there we go.
I think I look sexy for 28.
Dude, you look
got a few
great,
white hairs
dude.
here and there, but
Dude, I want that so bad.
yeah, it's natural.
I want
The
gray hair so bad.
Chicks actually love the salt and pepper look. I've noticed.
Hell yeah. Yeah, dude.
Shows
Maturity.
you more like
A little
they're more
maturity.
mature.
You're like, yeah, I got a 401k. No deal.
Just shows that I got that.
Gray hair, yeah. Yeah.
What
but
was growing up with your brother like?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
We found a lot of. I mean, we've just played music since we were kids, and that was really cool because we would just, we did the other shit too. Like we would play action figures all day and like fucking,
wow.
we'd fuck around.
Dude, I had fucking Raw and SmackDown shows with my action
Oh
figures.
hell
Dude,
yeah,
I did.
yeah. Quick story about that.
Yes, do it.
we had a game. Speaking of my brother, we had I think it was SmackDown versus Raw. I don't remember what year it was.
WWE talk.
WWE talk.
Yep.
Shout out Kevin Nash. But we had that game, and we had a basement in my old house, actually my first house in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Because we moved once after we moved back, and my brother and I would just be in the basement, like beating the shit out of each other, like throwing,
Like out of each
like,
other,
Yeah,
yeah.
like we would just be like doing the moves, like he would like swan dive onto me, and I'd be like, like whole thing. And
That is funny.
Yeah. So my mom took that shit away real fast. She was like,
Did anyone
no.
get hurt? Like seriously hurt?
I don't think so.
No.
Maybe mentally, but like other than that, no. Not really.
Oh my god.
But yeah, like that was kind of the extent of our wrestling thing. Because after that, my mom was like, "You guys are actually gonna kill each other if I give you this game." So
It's gonna lead one thing lead to another.
just
Like for me and my brother, so like do the typical moves on
Right.
each other and all that. And
Yeah.
the last actual move I did wasn't really that long ago. It was like maybe 4 years ago.
Nice.
I've always idolized Jeff Hardy,
you got to stay fresh, dude.
dude.
Hit him with the swan dive.
So that's what I did.
Hell yeah.
So I laid my brother out. There was like 4 chairs on each side, plywood over across the chairs. I climbed up the ladder. I told my brother to lay right here. A few drinks in me too.
Yeah. You
And then
gotta
I
have
went all the
that.
way on top. I didn't fuck around. It was like an 8-foot ladder, but still, I went all the way on top.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to say it looked like a swanton bomb, or I visioned it looking like a Jeff Hardy swanton bomb, but it was more like a little senton bomb, type of move.
Yeah. Like a
Still, I thought
dumpling.
it was cool.
Yeah.
Gave myself whiplash. Fun times.
Oh,
Yeah, that
that's
was on
rough.
another New Year's Eve, actually.
That's rough.
Yeah, New Year's Eve is.
You gotta stay away from New Year's Eve.
I
man.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good for you.
Yeah, but I've always idolized Jeff Hardy. I always wanted to be like him, and
He's cool.
Yeah, but that was my last wrestling move.
Wow.
Can't do that anymore.
Yeah, that was mine. Was not swan diving, but in the basement was my last.
on like couches or what, or cushions.
we had a couch, and then we would take off the cushions and like put them on the floor, and then that was our ring, and then we would like use the like the couch part, like that's like kind of bouncy.
Yeah.
That would be like the springboard to
Yeah.
like land the flying elbow on my brother. Like I'd be like,
Oh my
take him
god.
out. But yeah, we did like shit like that growing up, and like
I remember we were talking about that too. Didn't you say you put like a couple holes in the walls or some shit? Like,
yeah, we're dumb. Yeah, we're dumb, bro. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, like that was a lot of like us growing up, and then when I was 16, he was 14. I literally got my driver's license. We were like, let's start a band, and then we started just playing. And he was. It's crazier that he was 14 doing this than me being 16. I feel like 16 makes more sense, especially now, like with how
Especially
things are. Like, I mean, people are, and it's great that people are so young doing this, because I feel like there was, maybe not like a super deep point in time, but there was like a time like when I was 16 where like if you were doing stuff like that, it's like, why aren't you going to school? Like, like
Right.
don't you got to go to college later?
Yeah.
And I feel like the internet, if it's done anything great the past couple of years, it's done that, where it's kind of like freed people out of that because, I feel like we got like this huge look at like how things work and how things could work and how we've just been doing things out of routine for so long. And it's like, maybe we don't have to be so regimented in like what we do as a society. Maybe it can bend a little bit.
Yeah.
Because
Did you end up going to college or?
No.
No, I didn't either.
I never went to college. Yeah.
Yeah.
I dodged it. I feel like I dodged it in a way.
Yeah.
For me at least. And like there are people that go to college that do great things.
Oh, amazing
And like,
things, yeah.
and they're a lot smarter than I am. And that's why I didn't go, because I was like, well, there's a lot of reasons why I didn't go, because I was kind of broke, but like also, yeah, like I just felt like I couldn't keep up there, and I didn't have anything I really wanted to do. And like, you can't really go to, at least like when I was 18, I was like,
Yeah.
you can't go to college to be like an artist. You know what I mean?
Well, I
Like,
wanted to
was-
ask, so like being a musician, is that something you've always wanted to do?
Yeah, like
Since growing up?
Yeah, ever since I
Okay.
was a kid, like I remember specifically for the band stuff. Like my brother and I saw the Foo Fighters Wembley Stadium like concert movie thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like watching that was like, at least I feel like that was like a big milestone for us, because it was just like, oh man, like they didn't think they could do that, and then they did that. And like
That was our biggest show
yeah,
at that time.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and they sold it out 2 nights. Like that's insane.
Dave Grohl's the man.
Dave Grohl is the man.
Yeah.
And that really like kind of put our hearts like there, as far as like going for it goes. But yeah, dude, like that was kind of the dog in us from the
Yeah.
beginning. Like
Would you say that's like the defining moment for you and your brother watching that?
yeah, I would
show?
say that. Like, I mean, we've had a lot of those over time. Like I remember the one I think about the most was we were on tour in New York, and he was like not even old enough to drink, and I was like 20, and we were standing outside of the venue, and crazy story about that actually.
Yes.
But we were standing outside the venue, and I was like, damn. And he just goes, damn. And we just kind of had this like mutual realization that the only reason we were in New York, a place that we didn't have enough money to go to, like
Right.
just on a whim, and B, like, like I never thought I would just like go to New York to play music.
Yeah.
And we just kind of had that moment where like, oh, we're only here because we play music. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I feel like we just have those moments over time that just keep us going, because we're like,
Yeah.
it's so cool. It gives back life points. You
Was
know
that
what I
your
mean?
first time in New York too?
Yeah.
Was to perform? Wow.
Yeah, first time.
Was it like a culture shock in a sense?
It was, yeah.
It's like city. you
Yeah,
know?
it was big. Like I was like, damn. And like we grew up like outside the city in St. Louis.
Yeah.
But this city was like totally different. You know, it was like fast, and it like smelled like shit, and like
Yeah.
there's things happening, and like cool things are happening, and
Big
like all
rats walking
yeah, big
across.
rat. People are yelling at you, like it's
saying "fuck you."
yeah,
get out of my way.
exactly.
Yeah.
You go to the subway and some guy just hates you for no reason. And it's,
Literally.
you know, you're like, I kind of get it. You know, like
get it.
your self-deprecation really kicks in, like when you walk down there.
I agree.
But yeah, like that was a cool moment for us for sure, where we just, you know,
I feel like I
felt
would fit right in.
Yeah, we
visiting New York.
fucking New
My
York.
psycho driving.
Psycho driving, dude. I almost got clipped by a Ferrari when I was there too, because yeah, my dumb ass tried to jaywalk, and I was like, oh, that's a mistake. I'm never doing that again, because they don't stop. Yeah,
No, they don't give a shit.
they don't care. They're like,
I
actually,
feel like almost everyone from the East, they don't give a fuck.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
a different animal out there.
They really are.
Yeah.
Really are.
Talk about your driving, by the
bastards.
way.
My driving?
Yeah,
I get
feel
made
like
fun
you're-
of.
You drive a lot.
I do.
Yeah.
I do drive a lot, and I get made fun of for my driving, specifically by my brother, speak of the devil. And everyone says I drive like a grandma, but I will say, I only do that when I have someone in the car with me, because I'm a very like defensive driver, where I look and I'm like paying attention, and I like don't want to kill the person in the car with me.
You don't want to be
So-
responsible for that, yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
I'm that guy going like 3 over the speed limit, 5 over. If I'm by myself, gloves are off.
All hands on deck.
Yeah,
on
we're
at that
going.
point.
Like
Yeah.
I'm getting there in 5 minutes. You know, it's fine.
I'm the same way,
But
man.
someone's in the car with me, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
now I gotta drive like my, grandma, and that's fine. She probably actually drives faster than me.
Do you have road
honestly.
rage?
I have it occasionally. Like if I don't have road rage inherently, but like if I'm just in a bad mood that day, and someone just happens to try me on the highway, that's
Yeah.
when I'm like, oh my, let me fucking go. And sometimes I'll like give them
Fucking finger.
Give him a
the
little
famous,
woohoo or like
the famous Jackson finger.
the famous Jackson finger.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but like I'll
You
just
pull it out the window like that. Like,
like surprise. But I should do that.
there you go.
Clip.
There you go. Reel it.
Reel it. We should just start reeling it.
Making reels.
Reel it. But yeah, that's where my road rage definitely kicks in, is if I'm having a bad day.
Yes.
But it's hard for me to like be well, I mean, it's not hard for me sometimes, like if it's a stranger on the highway, then I'm just like, hey, fuck you, like I don't care. But if I can see the person's eyeballs, then I'm like, oh damn it, like what if they're having a bad day too? So even if I do it, even if I'm like, hey, fuck you, like then I'm like, they're probably having a bad day too. Like I just am existential for the rest of the drive home, because I'm like, damn.
I tend to be more courteous of old drivers. Like the other day, an old guy, I was like turning, and I had the right of way to turn, but then he was turning too.
Yeah.
And I was about to go off on this asshole. But then they got closer, and I saw it was an old guy, and he wasn't even looking at me. And I'm like, okay, it's an old guy. I'll just let it slide. Just,
Yeah.
No need. Like, not worth it.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
when I see old drivers, like I just feel like this need to just escort their driver's license from their wallet and just be like, okay, look, you've hit a certain age, it's time. Like
I was about to say there should be an age limit.
there should be an age limit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that would be great. I think we should just do away with.
Or at least
Old.
when they get to a certain age, they should retest.
Yes,
To see if they're safe.
that's a way better idea. I think that's a better way to do it.
Yeah.
Because there's people that are 85 that are quick as shit.
Yeah, they're
there's
quick as shit. They're
yeah.
so with it.
Yeah. And then there's people that are 85 and they're like 185. Like, you know,
Exactly.
that's like not.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's
I
not
think maybe when they
conducive.
reach maybe retirement age, what is that, 65 or whatever?
Is it 65?
I think so,
Yeah,
right? Or
I think.
62, whatever, 65, 62.
Martin, you know?
Yeah, Martin, do you know?
You know what the 65. There it is.
I think once they reach 65, they should retest. And that should be a requirement.
I think that's super fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then maybe after that, every like 5 or 10 years or whatever,
Yeah.
retest again.
I think 10 is a good.
Yeah. Because then
Bookmark.
75, it's like, okay, you're 75 now.
Yeah.
Get
That
your
would really
shit
knock
together.
down that driver's expiration date a little bit. Yeah.
We should have that pass or something. You know,
We should. Yeah. Should
to
have-
prevent our road rage.
Yeah. Arizona government. Listen up.
So tell us more about your music, Viper Club. Let's start with Viper Club.
Man. Yeah. Viper Club.
Well, first I want to say, so I've heard Viper Club, great music.
Thank you.
I get the sense it's more classic rock influence, I want to say, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I hear a lot
like,
of classic rock vibes in there.
Yeah, like it does definitely like have classic rock vibes in there. Like Nate and I get inspired by like the weirdest shit. Like I'm not the weirdest shit, but like just things that people maybe not like after hearing that may think that we get inspired. But like one of our favorite bands collectively is Death from Above 1979, and they've always been so cool to us. And so like our song Reese Witherspoon was like kind of like an ode to them because we wrote it like from a bass and a drum set, and that's how that band is, where it's a bass and a drum set.
Yeah.
And then the bass player also plays keys and stuff. But that like we kind of weave it in that way, like and like Come Through has like a straight up Van Halen reference in it, like it's right in there. And we both also love Van Halen, so yeah, like some of it is classic rock influenced, and like a lot of it does come off that way, but sometimes it's like a totally random thing that we love, like Beatrix. Like if you listen to the song Stuck in the Middle with You, it's a little similar because it was inspired by
Oh yeah, now that you
Quentin
think about it,
Tarantino,
I could
yeah.
hear that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was definitely like inspired by that scene where he cuts the guy's ear off.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that song's playing. And like, but what's funny is I watched Kill Bill, and that's where the song came from.
I love Kill Bill.
And then subconsciously I just took the vibe, like the
Yeah.
vibe of the song from that scene, that other Tarantino scene.
Yeah.
So in that music video, there's a little insert in the beginning where it's like
Okay.
there's a Tarantino quote, and it's about how stealing is the most sincere form of like flattery or something like that.
I haven't
It's
seen
like
the music video yet. I gotta
it's a
watch
whole
it.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a fun one to shoot. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the first Viper Club song ever, actually.
And for you guys that don't know yet, or if we haven't said it yet, his brother is in the band with him.
He is. Yeah, shout out Nate.
Yeah. So how did you guys get the other band members involved?
Well, they were so Nate and I. So we were in Sunday at Noon before, which was like our other band, and that was a big growing process for us just to know like kind of what we wanted to do. We didn't know it, but we were just throwing paint at the wall for like 4 years, and then we got to the end of that and we were like, this thing has like no identity because we've just been fucking around with it for 4 years. And so we were like, let's make something like we actually like. And so a lot of it was just like taking that band and moving it over here.
Yeah.
And the other guys in the band are more like live players.
Yeah.
And so they'll just they come, and they're great friends of ours, and so they show up, and it's a great time. It really adds to the like the live element of it because we're having fun, and then we have a band, and then it's like this cool thing because we're all friends. It's not like this, like it's not like some weird higher thing. It's just
Is
like
it predominantly like a duo thing though between you and your brother?
Yeah,
Like it's known. You two are known as Viper Club.
Yeah, we recently like kind of made that more apparent in our brand. But yeah, it always has been pushed by my brother and I. And I also have to shout out Jim Roach as well because he we met him years ago, and he's been a good one for us. He's a producer. He works with a band called Ninja Sex Party and a bunch of other artists and stuff. But that's where we heard of him from, and we met him for the first time and just hit it off. And so he's the guy that is responsible for making Beatrix sound the way it sounds, and Sunshine and Reese and Rich Girl, and like he really helped us kind of mold what the band was gonna sound like from the beginning, and kind of the energy we were going with.
Yeah.
And I don't think we even realized how much we needed that. And he's been a great friend ever since. But yeah, Jim
Still
Roach,
working with him?
Yeah, he's just a good homie, and we actually got to be in a project with him called Shadow Academy, which is a lot of fun. And that's just it's a cool creative outlet in that way because Nate and I just get to write shit. And
What's Shadow Academy?
Shadow Academy is Jim Roach and Dan Avidan from Ninja Sex Party, and they both had this idea to make this like cool like proggy like rock thing, and they Jim was like, hey, if you guys have anything you want to send over and like see if it fits, then go ahead. And we did, and then like a couple months later we were just writing a bunch of songs together, and it was a lot of fun. And so that album finally came out, and it was it's so cool. Like I just love it because it's so like I said, like throw paint at the wall kind of
Yeah.
thing, but it's all just so breathable and it works and
I
it's
like that.
fun and
Yeah.
And so we've, working with them is just always a blast. So
Yeah.
we dig that a lot.
How would you describe your stage presence when you guys do perform live?
I'm a ham ass for sure. Like, I mean,
I've seen some clips. I've seen some
I'm
clips.
definitely a head ass. Like, I've been known to fall out of ceilings now because
Yeah.
as you may, I've fallen out of the ceiling at Rebel. Shout out Rebel Lounge. Sorry for falling out of your ceiling.
So Jackson was hanging literally on the ceiling like a monkey, pretty much.
I was, yeah.
And then just
Yeah, I fell straight down. To describe, or I guess explain that story better, I was wearing trousers at the time, and they were kind of slick. And I didn't really get a good grip with my legs up there.
yeah.
But I was just like winging it. And I was just upside down, like legs clamped, and my mic came unplugged. And so I was trying to tap my bass player, Carl, on the shoulder and be like, hey, can you get my mic and hand it to me? And so he's like, okay. And he goes down to get it. And as he goes down to get it, I like lost my,
Oh my God.
and I just went straight down. And
Flat back first.
I popped back up. And the clip that never got recorded was I got up and I climbed back up and I finished the song up there.
Oh,
But
wow.
no one knows that. And I
Wow.
kind of like,
You risked it all the second time.
I kind of like that people don't know that. I think it's really funny.
Yeah.
But
How did your band members react when they saw you fall to your death?
I don't think, and like, I know the guys love me, but I don't think they gave a shit besides Nate. I think Nate was like, oh my God, because he saw the whole thing. Like he's behind there and he's playing drums and he sees me go up. And they thought it was like funny, like they were like, oh, that's
It added to the moment.
yeah, that's cool. Like I think once they realized I was okay, they were like, oh, okay,
Okay.
like he's fine. I will say I did go to the chiropractor after that, and I was a little fuckered. I will say I was a little fucked up. My feet were like, I didn't realize it, but I was just walking like this, like just.
Was it your hips kind of not aligned after that, or was it your?
I think I
lower
was just
back?
like, I think like I had like a weird, like I was just sitting different.
Yeah.
or like something like that.
Kind of like a crooked
Yeah.
back.
I think I had pain, but I didn't realize I wasn't sitting straight. So I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Interesting.
And I would just sit like that.
Damn. Well,
Yeah.
much need a chiropractor job for that.
Yeah, he was like, "What happened to you?" And I was like, "I fell out of, I fell out of a ceiling." And he was like, "Are you like into construction?" And I was like, "No, I'm in a band." And he was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
He's like, "How the fuck did you fall out of a ceiling in a band?" And I was like, "You ever seen Pearl Jam, Pink Pop, 1992? You know when
Yeah.
Eddie Vedder's climbing through all the shit? I can't do that."
Or even Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers swinging on the lights.
Yeah.
He's done
Yeah.
that a couple times.
I wish I had the balls.
Yeah.
I tried the ceiling and
Just didn't work out. Was
F me
that
up.
your first and only time, or have you done it?
I've
other
done
times?
it.
Okay.
I did it again. I had to.
Is that like a patented Jackson move?
I have been talked to about that move more than my other ones for sure. But I used to have a move where I would use my microphone like a bow staff. And I
Oh.
thought that was cool, but I almost knocked myself the fuck out one time, so I stopped doing it. I was like, the last thing I need is, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with a bow staff. You know what I mean?
Wait, a microphone as a bow staff though? What do you mean?
I would I had like a straight mic stand, and then I
Yeah.
would like spin the bottom of it off.
Oh.
And I'd take
okay.
the mic off, and then I would
Gotcha.
start flipping it around.
Oh, and you almost knocked your.
I almost took my shit out. Yeah.
Well, you think all the practicing of you and your brother as kids with the wrestling moves would prepare you for all this?
Exactly.
but,
It was the fights on the cul-de-sac that got me ready for that one. Because it was like bring your own sword, and I was like, bitch, I got 2 of them.
Ooh, have you ever done
know?
LARPing?
I would actually love to go LARPing.
I would still love to go
I'm
LARPing.
not gonna lie. I'm such a nerd for that shit.
Dude, I would
think
fucking
it's so cool.
wear my battle gear, shield, and everything.
It'd be like a necromancing mage. I'll like conjure. I'll just bring a bunch of homies. They'll be like my dead buddies, and I'll just like raise
We'll have
them.
Martin film it,
Yeah, Martin. Let's make a movie. Let's make it. Fund it, Spielberg.
That'd be very interesting, actually.
Mm-hmm.
We've almost done LARPing once. Me and my brother had a plan to get like our friends together. Never happened. I was very disappointed, but we
That
had
was
our
rough.
foam swords ready too.
Foam swords.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite wrestler growing up, by the way?
Yes, I
was
did. Kevin Nash.
Oh yeah. Oh, so Kevin Nash is your favorite.
Kevin
wrestler.
Nash
Not
is
just
my
your favorite
shit.
NWO member, but favorite wrestler.
He is my shit. Like
shit.
I didn't get to watch a whole lot growing up. But like definitely like I got into like the Attitude Era, and I have like the DVD and like all the shit, and like I just
You know what's
loved.
funny? I think I I have a story to tell you actually. So you grew up watching that, Jerry. You just said,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So do you know Val Venus, right?
Oh yeah,
Val
of course,
Venus?
yeah. Val
Okay,
Venus.
this is an interesting story. So I met him at a
Wow.
gym here.
Was he sexy?
Very sexy. Bald
yeah.
now, but he's sexy.
Hey, dude, bald
Yeah.
is sexy.
Bald is sexy now. But
Damn right.
I saw him at a gym here. He lives here. He owns
Oh,
a
really?
dispensary here.
What?
Yes.
Dude, give me his address.
Yes, I
I
will.
want to go see Val Venus.
He owns a dispensary here, and it's not too far away from here actually.
Oh.
But yeah, I saw him at the gym,
Wow.
and I saw him a couple times. The first time I saw him, I just waved at him because he probably knew that I knew him. Oh, like he's just a fan. I just waved at him, and that's it. I just continued about my workout.
Yeah.
The second time I saw him, it was in the locker room. Well, first, okay, so let's say the Attitude Era, Val Venus, he's known to be sexual.
Yes.
His character,
Yes, his character is very sexual.
his character was known to be sexual. He had backstage promos where he would be with women, porn stars even, and the whole joke would be about, oh, like Val Venus as a big whatever.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, you've
Yeah.
probably seen those.
Mhm.
So anyways,
Yes.
I'm talking to him in the locker room, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah. So just I never have asked him about wrestling that 2 times I've talked to him. I didn't ask him about wrestling at all. I was talking to him about his dispensary business and all that. How's it going with that? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
He's changing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mid conversation.
No way.
Yes way. Mid conversation,
God.
story of my life. Like this is literally an achievement of mine.
Bro,
Actually,
you saw it.
I saw Val Venus's penis.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
I almost couldn't stop staring.
I don't know what I would do if I was in your position.
I
I
was shaking.
I feel like I would just I don't like put him in a museum, bro. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
He just casually took off his underwear while he was talking to me.
He was just like, yeah, so
Yeah,
he's
so,
probably so
yeah.
used to it. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I smoked out of the bong before. Yeah,
Smoked
like,
out of a bong before.
as
Takes
his
the pants off.
as his ding dong is showing.
Yeah,
like, yeah,
dude, just slanging.
yeah. It was
Wow.
an incredible moment for me. I'll remember that for the rest of my life.
Wow. Well, shout out to Val for slanging dick.
Yeah,
Can I say that?
literally
Slanging dick.
slanging dick
Slanging dick. Slanging
casually
dick.
too, very casually,
Casually slanging dick
while still having a conversation
while still having that is actually an achievement of his for sure.
of mine.
Of yours. Yeah.
Yes.
But I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due. Martin, you get it. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I tried not to stare, but I had a glance at least.
I would have just given him a handshake. I just would have been like,
While
like
naked.
real quick. I would have been like, yeah, that's cool. Real quick. Nice.
Nice.
And I
By
just
the way.
would have given him a handshake right there.
Yes. All the ladies loved it.
The ladies, I bet.
And his catchphrase was "Hello, ladies."
lady.
With the towel and with the towel.
Yeah, he would rip it off, throw it.
And ironically, that was my last time I saw him.
Wow.
Good memory. I might see him again eventually. We'll see.
Maybe he thought like that's what you were after the whole time. And he was just like, I'm just gonna give it to this guy. And he's like,
Just give it to this guy.
there you go. And he's
He
like,
clearly
fuck, I gotta
knows me
switch
from
my gym
wrestling.
now. He's like,
Yeah.
this happens every time.
People always asking to see my penis. I just got to do it.
You find out he's gone to like 18 different gyms because he just can't find one. He's like,
A very great achievement of mine.
very great. That's great.
Should have taken a picture.
Yes, definitely Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash, though.
Yes, Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
I love HBK too.
Edge and Jeff Hardy were like my guys.
Ooh, Edge. That's a good one. I like Edge and Christian a lot. It's a good tag team.
Did you ever see the live sex celebration Edge had
No.
with Lita?
Oh yes.
And her boob actually accidentally like popped out.
That is insane. They had so much like crazy
Raunchy
shit
shit.
on that,
Yeah.
you know, and it was really of its time. You know,
like stuff that they did back then, they sure as hell would not be able to get away with that today.
No, there's no way.
Like
Yeah.
a lot of just raunchy shit.
Yeah.
Like I think who was it? Kane. I mean, it was a mannequin, but it was portraying a dead person in a casket. He had sex with the dead person in the
Wow.
casket.
Yeah.
It's like there's no way they could get away with that nowadays.
Yeah. No, I think that might get a lawsuit.
Yeah, or
sure.
especially with the Val Venus stuff, having a porn star go down on him in a backstage segment.
Yeah. That's pretty. Yeah. That's pretty up there.
Kids are watching nowadays, so
Kids are watching. Yeah.
maybe that's what's wrong with me because I used to watch that shit all the time.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe. I don't know.
Anyways,
wrong
let's
with me.
segue
Yes.
to other stuff.
Segway. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Viper Club.
Viper Club.
Yeah. It's just like it's a little rock band that we just
yeah.
like to do. And
Any new music coming out with Viper Club?
we do. We took 2023 was an interesting year for us because we were felt like we were just both really growing a lot in that year, and we put out one song, Misanthropy, and it was the only song that in Viper Club's catalog that I've written on my own.
Right.
And it was kind of weird to put it out. I'm not gonna lie. But we were playing South by, and we were like, oh, we have this song. Let's put it out, before South by. And so we did, and then after that, we just I had written all this music, like this acoustic music, and then after we came back from South by, we just, I don't know. I think we just like were working on ourselves, and that was kind of what we did all year. And we played a couple shows here and there, and then
This was last year?
Last year, yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then this year we were like, man, we only dropped one song last year. Like, what are we doing? Like, that's crazy. And so we did write a new song, and we have other new songs we've written because we're just kind of getting back into it. I feel like because we were out of the group for so long, we have to kind of like learn how to get back into it.
Yeah.
Because we've kind of become like creatures of our own artistic process, if that tracks and doesn't sound stupid.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, like because I started writing all this acoustic stuff, and Nate has his own band called DS1, which is great. And it's like I love the way he writes rock songs. Like, they're just awesome. And he had that, and like we came back to write for Viper Club, and it was a lot different because we had this time to be individual artists, like not even publicly, but just like in our own writing facilities. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so we came back and we were like, oh, I think we're gonna have to like learn how to work together a little bit again, because we have very different processes for how we do things.
Yeah.
And so now it's this cool thing where we get to kind of like relearn working with each other, which is like something we both never thought would ever happen in our lives.
Would you consider that almost like a growing phase?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And so yeah, we're definitely working on new stuff, and we wanted to drop it in the beginning of the year, but we want it to be good.
Yeah.
We're like, when we come back, it's got to be like good.
Fires ablazing.
Fires ablazing, like, because we want to come back and not stop.
Yeah. You want to just go ham on that
Right.
shit. Yeah.
And so we're definitely getting our ducks in a row, and then Viper Club will write again.
Yeah.
And it
I've
will
never
be
been to a
sick.
show, Viper Club show. I need to check it out.
You got to come
Just
through. No
seeing
pun
you
intended.
hang on a ceiling, I got to see that.
I'll do it just for you. I'm like, Austin, this one's for you.
Yeah. In the meantime, though, too, you did your solo project, your
Yes.
solo EP.
Yeah.
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 Tell us about that.
That was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, but it was also a big learning process for me, just like about myself. A lot of that music I never thought would be heard by anybody, like ever, because I've always just written stuff and just kind of, put it away. And then like, I have this friend, Madison Pruitt. I'll shout her out because, actually, funny enough, I'm dropping a live album next week.
Ooh, okay. There you go.
Which I haven't even talked about. So this is
There
great.
you
My buddy Madison, I just started sending her music I would write, and she would hear it and be like, this is good. And she's a very talented musician in her own right. So when she says it's good, I'm like,
It means a lot
maybe
when
it's
she
good.
says it.
Yeah, I'm like,
it means it's
okay,
good.
maybe it's not bad,
Yeah.
And so I just started writing more songs because of that, and they were very honest and very much like about me. It was like just doing that, just taking the heart
Taking
out,
your heart
put it
out
on the
and leaving
table,
it. Yeah.
And I feel like I'd never really gotten there with Viper Club too much, just because like I felt like there wasn't a place for it there, because
Right.
it's such a shared project. I'm like, I don't know if I need to air out my dirty laundry there, but
That
I
makes
feel like
sense.
I do need to do it in this one.
Right.
And like a lot of that was just like finding myself and like understanding why I think the way I think, and like understanding why I feel the way I feel, and like all
What
that
did you
stuff.
learn about yourself when you did make your solo EP?
When I
Or in the
wrote
process of making it?
Laughing Through It All, that was the telling one for sure.
Okay.
Because like that one is about like, like Sours is about like someone just letting you down all the time, and like that being a feeling because you want that person to not let you down. And Raindrop was about falling in love, and Laughing Through It All is about like just me and how I deal with things. And like that was that was an interesting song to write because I didn't think about it at all.
Yeah.
You know, like from a lyrical standpoint, it
Was it just a seamless song to write for you, or?
I almost thought it was stupid when I was writing it because I was like, these are like, I would just write things and just next line and just keep going.
Yeah.
And then when I remember I listened to it after it came out again. And I was like, this actually is like exactly what I needed to say, you know, where I'm like, oh, like it all makes sense for me. And I feel like I had to not be aware that I was doing that to actually write it. Because if I would have done that, I would have been like, do I want to say that?
You might have been overthinking a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was a really nice, yeah.
How you said that, how you probably couldn't do that with Viper Club, and you did that solo. That kind of reminds me. I mean, I'm a huge format or fun guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, love them.
Nate, that was one of his big reasons, at least from what I read, that was one of his big reasons why they kind of dispersed as fun, because he had a lot of personal shit to get out.
Yeah.
And he did his solo album after Fun kind of dispersed.
Yeah.
And he felt like he couldn't do that with Fun. It was almost too personal for him to do that with other members of the band.
Yeah,
you know?
that's exactly how this is. Like,
Yeah.
it was just like that. Like, because there's you know, it's just like anything else. Like, you know, there's people you talk to about certain things. There's people you talk to about other things, and
Right.
like, you know, you find places for everybody. Like, and like what you want to trust them with. And I feel like this was really hard. Like I said, like before we even started rolling, like it was hard to put out because I was like, I don't know if like I can trust everyone with that, you know? And then I had this like realization where I was like, I don't need to, you know, I don't need to trust anybody with that. But what that is like something that's there for someone who might hear it and be like, oh, me too. You know?
Did you ever have doubts about putting it out?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like the whole time I was like, I don't even know. Like, again, like I never thought I'd even put it out.
How did you feel when you did finally put it out? What was the feeling like?
It was freeing, honestly.
Yeah.
And it was terrifying like the day before. Cause I was like, I kind of want to just call up, Amy, my manager, and be like, can we just not do this? And can we just like pretend this never happened?
Like her name was on your thumb, like, should I call?
And she, like, to her credit, if I would have called her and said that, she would have been like, shut the fuck up, we are dropping this. Like, you know,
She just would have told you straight
because
up, like,
she
we're
knows
just
me too
dropping this.
well. Yeah, she'd be like, oh, no, and like we just put it out. But where I really like the thing that really made me even like put the work in to put it out was I showed my brother Nate the song "Laughing Through It All" in the car. And like that kind of music really isn't like, so like he's not the guy that's listening to stuff like that, more or less. Like he's not the guy that's gonna have Jack Johnson on in his car.
Yeah, it's a
you
9-day
know?
difference because your sound
Right.
with your solo sound is more like folky, almost
Yeah.
like folk.
Totally.
And then obviously what we talk about with Viper Club, it's more of like a rock.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And he, like showing him that, and we we listen to the song, and we get to the end of it, and he goes, "Drop it."
Wow,
Like that was the only thing he said was just
straight up.
Just he goes, "Drop it. It's sick." And I was like, and just the way he said it, and like the conviction he had when he said it, like he's the guy I trust. So I was like, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then boom,
So that was the deciding factor.
that really was like that.
Wow.
If that wouldn't have been said, it may have never happened.
Wow.
I feel like I kind of got his like blessing to do it in a way.
I'm glad you did
Me
because
too.
Laughing Through It All, I've heard it probably 5 to 10 times already.
Wow.
Prior to this interview. Yeah.
Awesome.
Like within the last probably week or two.
How do you
Yeah.
feel?
Yeah. I love that style of music too. Almost like a folk, acoustic, alternative sound in a
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've performed it live, right?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
I did one show on my birthday last year. It was like kind of a little release show.
Yeah.
And so I ran out this like hotel, and then a bunch of my friends came, and it was like a black tie event, so to speak, and excuse me. And so we just kind of jammed and played music, and it's so fun, that project too, because Nate plays drums in Viper Club, but he plays guitar in my band. which is super fun. And then my buddy Graham plays on the drums, and he's phenomenal. My buddy Zach plays bass. You know, it's one of those things, again, like Viper Club, where it's just like we can have our friends play with us, and then it's like everything's a vibe.
It meshes very
Yeah,
well.
it
It's like
doesn't-
you guys have the chemistry.
It doesn't
now.
feel so businessy, you know. It feels
Yeah.
more like, oh, we're doing this and it's fun, you know.
Yeah.
At least that's what I'm thinking. They could be like, this guy fucking sucks. Like, I want to be the fucking
like,
be
we
here.
fucking had this guy in the band.
But they haven't told me that yet, so I'm like, okay, we'll just keep rocking it. But
Yeah.
but yeah, that I played that show, and then my first show ever with it was in Cleveland,
Ooh,
and I went out to see my buddy Madison again.
New Madison, yeah.
Shout out Madison Pruitt. And I went out there, and she organized this whole show. And it was really cool for her to help me out with that, because I was like, yeah, I want to come out, but I want to play a show and just like kind of test drive this acoustic stuff. And she was like, let's do it.
Yeah.
And so her band at the time played, and then I played, and I got to open for her, and we played 2 shows, and one of them, the first one, I actually got recorded, and it was really, really scary to hear that back, because
Oh my God.
when it was one of those things where I knew it was going to be recorded, and then when I got up there, I totally forgot it was being recorded.
Wow.
I was like, oh,
You were
like
just in the
this
moment,
is just
man.
another show, and I didn't even realize. And then we got done, and the guy who the people at the room in Cleveland, they he comes up and he's like, great job, man. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, that whole thing was fucking recorded. I was like,
You realized that afterwards.
yeah, I was like, oh my God, I'm so fucked. Like that
Oh my
was
God.
so, I bet that was terrible. You know,
Right,
I was
yeah.
like, this is going to be terrible. And I heard it back, and I was like, it's not terrible. So I'm going to put it out.
Yeah.
And so that'll be a fun one to drop.
How
for
would
sure.
you describe the differences between you performing live by yourself and then with a band? For you personally.
There's a big difference for
Yeah.
sure. When I'm doing Viper Club and I'm fronting that's a lot more of I don't want to say it's an act, because it's not. Like that's more of like my head ass side, like just having the floor for a sec. Like
Yeah.
that's more like what that is, because like I don't really put on for that band or like front in it, because that's just I can't do that like and like go to bed at night, because I'm
Yeah.
just like
You're your true self.
yeah, like when you try, I feel like it's like when you try and, it's like if you were trying to like write a character,
Yeah.
and you would like probably go through a couple drafts, because like your first one, you'd be like, I don't fucking like this guy.
Yeah, who the fuck is
You know
this
what I
guy?
mean? I can't, and if I did that on a whim, I would just go out there and I would come back and I'd be in bed at night and I'd be like, the fuck did I say that? You know, like, be like, why? Like, that was not cool. Like, and I
Yeah.
still have those moments, because I'll try and be funny on stage, and then like
Right.
crickets, and I'm like,
It's like, fuck, man.
at least I'll go down myself, you know,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it's fine.
Yeah.
And then the Jackson Lee stuff is like a lot more fun, and I hate saying the Jackson Lee stuff, but I have to, because it's like it's what it's called. But
The Jackson Lee stuff.
my
Yeah.
stuff, I guess. That's a lot more gratifying in the way of like, I feel like I can actually talk to people while I'm playing that music, and like I feel like it's like because Viper Club's up here and that one's here, and when it's here, I feel like I can be like, okay, everyone just chill the fuck out and like let's just have a drink, and
It's
like,
more intimate.
right, like
Yeah.
just like you don't really have to worry about me playing right now. Like just if you want to talk to somebody, do it. Like this is just like just have a good space for like 45 minutes.
Right.
You know, just kind of like enjoy yourself and like hang out and you know, like
Yeah.
just be in the moment.
So would you say there's not a lot of like thought put into when you perform solo? Like you're just out there doing it.
Yeah.
You're just out there.
I'd say that for both, honestly.
Okay.
Because like when I go out for Viper Club, I don't think about it at all. Like even jumping on the ceiling, I wasn't thinking about that. I mean, I looked at it when we sound checked, and I was like, I bet I can climb that bitch. And then like,
I saw that video too, man. When you fell, I was like, oh my God, this guy. You're like, I just embarrassed myself in front of like 200 plus people.
oh yeah, it was rough. It was definitely rough for sure.
What are your plans? We're still very early into the year. What are your plans for the rest of 2024?
Oh man, I have so many plans. I am.
What do you see
I don't know if I can say
2024
this.
like for you?
I'm actually doing my first tour. I'm pretty sure I can say this now. But I'm doing my first tour as a solo artist in Japan.
Oh wow.
Which is kind of a mind fuck for me, not gonna lie.
Wow.
Because I'm like, why? But
In Japan.
in Japan, yeah. So I'm doing that next month,
Yeah.
and that'll be a trip for sure. It's just my brother and I are going out, and he's gonna play guitar for me, and we're just gonna.
You said for a month. You
Yeah.
guys are gonna
Oh
go?
no, just for like a week.
A week. Okay. Cool.
Which will be fun, and I love Japan. I went there last year with another band, and I had a great time. I love the food. Holy shit! So I'm really
That sounds
excited
exciting,
about that.
man.
Dude, McDonald's in Japan. Zuckerberg was not fucking around, dude.
Is it a different beast?
It's a
in
different
Japan?
beast. Yeah,
Ooh,
it's
okay.
actually that good.
Wow. What do you order?
Okay, I had the Samurai Jack or whatever it's called. It's the Samurai. They have like a bunch of like Big Mac variations.
Really? So it's called a samurai?
It's like a samurai something. It's like a Samurai Mac. That's it. It's a
Samurai
Samurai Mac.
Mac.
That's it.
That is
Yes.
cool.
Called Samurai Mac, I think.
I want to order just for the name. Can I get the Samurai Mac?
Dude, the best thing, and I'm not even half capping on your ass when I say this. They have melon soda on tap, and it's actually my favorite part of McDonald's there.
What?
Like, you know, like it's like it takes the place of the McDonald's Sprite, but in the best way. Like it's gonna
Is it
knock you.
orgasmic?
Oh,
Dude.
dude, I had it in the airport, and I was like, I don't know if I can get on this plane. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I could leave. It was the worst thing I could have done before I left.
Yeah.
So I was like, I know when I go home, I'm gonna walk into McDonald's because I fucking love.
Do they have
McDonald's.
chicken nuggets there in Japan from
They
McDonald's?
do, and their desserts are fire too.
Is your dog missing out on the Japan chicken nuggets?
She is.
Oh my God.
She definitely is. If I could figure out a way to take my dog to Japan, I absolutely would. There'd be no question about it. I'd be like, yes, I'm bringing my dog.
And then give her the chicken
Yeah,
nuggets.
we
too.
could have a chicken nugget Sunday.
Oh my God.
You know how it goes, bro.
That's exciting though. Like that's 2024.
Yeah, that
Sounds like an exciting.
Viper Club's kicking back up later this year too. I'm really excited about this. It's not my project, so I can't really talk in length about it. But my brother's project DS1 is kicking up too, and that's gonna be so sick. I'm just really excited for him on that, and I get to play guitar in the band, so I'm like
Ooh,
even
okay.
more excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of the.
You know what's funny? I kind of see you as an actor too.
I have done acting. I actually wow, it's funny you mentioned that. Because,
Yeah, like I got like just watching your Instagrams and reels and all that. Like I can see you being an actor.
Yeah, funny enough, I actually shot my first acting thing ever. Back in October. Yeah.
Oh.
Which is, yeah, it was crazy actually how that happened because so I did this music video. I got asked by the girls in Good Boy Daisy to be the lead in their video. And they were like, "Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Okay, we have a couple of the people we're gonna try out." And if like, I eventually got it. And then I showed up and I was playing like the asshole like boyfriend basically. And I was like sick. And then so I did that, and I met this guy Keaton who directed the video.
Yeah.
And he was working on this film with his buddy, and they'd written it. And I remember actually one night I went over to his house, and I saw this like fat script on his table, and I was like, "What is that?" And I just kind of like ignored it.
Yeah.
And Brendan too. They're both like a package deal. Like that's how I met them together, and just really good at what they do. Like really smart guys and like really fun to work with. Like even when shit's stressful, like they're just fun, you know. And so we did the music video. It was great. Like came out and they killed it with that video. It was so good. Like there's a scene where my head's cut off and I'm like on the table at the end.
Oh shit.
And like if you would have seen like the makeup I was in and then seen like the actual shot that wound up in the video, you'd be like, whoever color graded that needs a medal.
Wow.
And that was Keaton. Like he's cracked, bro. And he's so good. Love you, Keaton. But after that, like it was like a month or two, maybe a little less than that. But I get a call from him, and he's like, "Hey, kind of weird. Like don't." he's like, I don't want to like make you commit to anything yet, but like we have this like film we're doing, and like we want to know if you like maybe want to like fill in like and be like this lead support. And I was like, yeah, that'd be great, because I've been trying to get into acting, but I just like. When you're doing music, it's like, it's hard because you're like, oh, how do I flip? You know?
Yeah.
And at least for me, I was like, oh, how do I flip? And then like a weekend passed, and then he was like, "Hey, can you hop on a call today?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And he sent me a Google Meet invite, and I hopped on it, and it was everybody on the production of it, and I was like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And then we
Even
were
the
just,
other actors and everything too?
no, not the other actors, just the people like that
okay.
were like a part of the production, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And they were like, "Hey, do you want to be this guy?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to be this
Sure.
guy, like Polly." And so I got to go to Globe for like, I mean, we shot over like, it was like God, I'm gonna fuck this up if I say how many days it was, but I think it was like 10 days, at least for me. It was 10 days for me. But they were working way more than that.
What's the name of the?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know what it's called yet.
Oh. Okay.
But I do know it's gonna be sick. And my buddy, well, this is the crazy part of it. So I show up on set, and the guy who's the lead in it, his name is James. And James, we casted for the Beatrix video years ago.
Wow.
And we ended up having to cut it because it just didn't work continuity wise. And so I see James and I'm like, holy shit. And he was like, holy shit. And we would just like started shooting the shit at cause I did like a little rehearsal or like a little thing just so they could make sure I was actually not going to fuck it up for him. And like, I did my best and like wound up shooting it with him. And it was the most fun thing ever, and I got to learn how to act in the most fun way because I was like James would, you know, he had done like a bunch of stuff, and he was like, hey, like, you know, he gave me so many pointers, and even like the guys who were like Keaton and Tyler, like they would just give me notes, and like they all helped, and it was just a good working process, and it was a great time. So I'm really excited.
Did
for it to
acting
come out.
come seamless for you?
I was nervous about it at first because I was like, I know how to be like, I'm good at like not getting wigged out by cameras and stuff like that. I think that's just because I did TikTok for so long. But I also like,
You're not wigged out by these cameras?
I'm not wigged out by these cameras at all. I could just bam.
You're at home.
Bam.
You're at home with these cameras.
Yes, I'm at home with these cameras. You guys are coming home with me actually.
This is where we shoot OnlyFans.
This is where we shoot OnlyFans. Only friends.
Only friends.
But
cheers to that. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Only friends. Only friends. But yeah, that was a really good time because I could just.
So do you know when it's out, where it's going to be released at? You still don't know that either.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I know they're doing they're gonna do a premiere, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And it's I play a detective in it.
Oh.
So I'm one detective, and then James is this detective named I think I can drop this. His name is Finch, and my name is Polly.
Detective Pauly.
Detective Paulie.
There
Paulie
you
fucking
go.
Russo. I kind of talked like that, like not really in the thing, because I did like my first take with it, and they were like, "Yeah, lose the fucking accent," and I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
But after that, like I would kind of slip it in. I'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And like I kind of like bop into Mark Wahlberg for a second, and then like bop out.
Yeah.
We're like, he's like this older cop, not old, like older cop, and I'm like this younger guy, and like he has like these things that help him. So it's like he can like see like visions and stuff, and then he can like solve crimes that way, and it's sick.
Wow.
And I'm like this fucking head ass that's like his partner, and I'm like, the fuck you? Like I drive a muscle car. Like the coolest part about that was I got to drive this Corvette Stingray the whole time
No
because
fucking way.
my character drives one, and I was like, oh my god, I get to drive a sports car for a whole like
10
day.
days.
Yeah, like it was so sick. I was like,
what?
yeah, but it was hot as shit. Like just the way the sun was hitting us, like it was like super hot in that car because the AC wasn't great, you know. It's like a 60s car, so
Yeah.
like it's hot as hell. He's in a full like jacket, tie, button up, like full thing. I'm wearing like a short sleeve button up like a douchebag, like driving a car with sunglasses on the head. So I don't even know why I'm complaining, but like it was a very hot day. Like we had to like strap the camera over the car. Like if I could show you what the camera looked like on the car, you'd be like, that's crazy, because they just figured it out, you know.
That's crazy.
And they did it. And I was really inspired by like just the
Car shots could be tricky too when it comes to certain scenes.
yeah,
you know?
and they're not only their attention to detail, but more importantly, just their hustle. for getting it done. Like
Yeah.
I was like, this is like inspired. It truly was inspiring.
So you were on set for 10 days. Was it strictly just a 10-day shoot too, or?
For me,
For you, okay.
it was not a whole lot. Like it was like we shot one weekend, another weekend, and then we had a couple days in there. So it could be a little less than 10 days actually. Now that I think about it, but
Gotcha.
it was like I think it was 10 days collectively for me working on the project, including like the rehearsal and stuff like that.
That's amazing.
But
man.
yeah, it was a great time. I
That's
definitely want
amazing.
to do it again. So now I got the dog in me where I'm like, oh shit, now I want to go acting and do
Yeah,
all
I
that,
could
and that'll be fun.
honestly, dude. I could really see you being a phenomenal actor. Like even just
Thank you.
moving forward. You know,
Thank you. I
you got the
appreciate
chops
that.
for it.
I sure like to be a
Check out
head-ass.
his reels, his
That's-
TikToks,
check
especially.
out my reels.
Yeah.
I'm
How do you?
definitely a
It's
head-ass.
amazing how you come up with your TikToks too. And like real quick, before we end this interview, I got a couple more questions to ask.
Yes.
How do you come up with that chant that you did on TikTok? How did you just randomly come up with that?
The cheer thing.
The cheer thing, yeah.
I
Did it just come out of nowhere? Like you just did it?
The whole bit, like my whole bit on TikTok since I've started doing it, has been just like, I mean, like just saying shit that I feel like everybody kind of thinks, but like just in like the dumbest way I can, you know? And like the cheer thing was literally just like, I just thought it was like a really dumb way, like to say that. I was like what if it started like they always start from like these really stupid ideas and then I get to like what I actually do and it's like the most simple stupid thing ever. But I was like, what if there was like a cheerleading squad and there was there's like fucking 12 of them and they're just like, who's ready to fucking die? Like, you know, it was just like this really self-deprecating cheer squad. And I was like, well, I'm only one dude, so I can't do like 12 different people, but
Yeah.
I'll
You
just
could
do
do it as
myself.
your just one dude.
I'll just do it
Like,
myself,
so, yeah.
and to add insult to injury, I'll do it in my backyard and just
Yeah.
make it even worse. And so I was like, we'll see how it goes, and
How'd it go? Is like 5, 6,
7,
7,
8,
8,
and then
just,
whatever bullshit just
Yeah.
pops into my head, like yeah.
I just shit my pants.
exactly, like I just shit my pants, or like I'm ready to give up, or whatever. You know, it's like
That is funny,
Yeah.
and it went viral too. First of all, it went
did.
viral.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was surprising. Like every time that happens, I'm like, why? Like every single
Millions
time.
and millions and millions of people viewed that chant.
Yeah, they really saw me
The cheer.
working my shit in my backyard. Like I was like, that's a lot of people. Like
That's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, it's TikTok has been a wild ride for sure.
yeah. TikTok is interesting. Yeah,
It's a very interesting platform.
yeah. I'm still trying to get the hang of it. I just started posting on there just reels of my interviews.
Oh, nice.
But I want to start posting more consistently. TikTok's a different animal.
It is
It
a
is.
different animal. You
Yeah.
honestly, my advice on TikTok has always been don't think too hard about it.
Right.
Just do it. You know, because like I mean,
And I think that's how a lot of success stories come about. Usually with TikTok, they'll just do whatever, and then
Yeah.
they don't even expect anything. Whatever they did to post, whatever they posted, they don't expect it to go viral. And then they'll wake up the next morning, oh fuck, 2 million people fucking saw this. Like holy shit.
yeah. I mean that's exactly what happened to me. I was just bored.
Yeah.
You know, like pandemic, and I was like, what the fuck else am I gonna do? You know, so I just did that, and it was turned out like to be kind of sick. But I was like, oh, I did definitely not see that shit coming at
Yeah.
all. Like, couldn't have called that.
So if you can spend a full day with Reese Witherspoon, what would you do with her? A full day. What would Jack do with Reese Witherspoon?
What would I do with Reese Witherspoon?
If you had to plan a day with her, what would you do with her?
You know what? I feel like she'd be a really fun person to go to a theme park with.
A theme park.
I feel like we would have a lot of fun at a theme park. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Eat some corn dogs,
eat
baby.
some corn dogs, hang out for a couple hours, you know, it's like we can go to Disneyland, just hang
Yeah.
out. Like honestly, I feel like she would like I'd be like, "Do you want to ride Space Mountain?" and we just ride it 15 times.
Yeah.
You know? Like that's my kind of hangout. I'd be like, "Yeah, let's just go." So definitely a theme park.
Wow.
If I hang out with Reese Witherspoon, it'd be a theme park for sure.
Awesome. I'm sure she would love that too.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully. I would love it. I know that.
Yeah. Anything else
Yeah.
with her? Or just the theme park?
Lobster dinner, maybe.
Lobster dinner.
A
There you go.
lobster dinner.
She-
I don't know,
She's a
actually.
classy lady.
I don't know if I'd like a lobster dinner. I think I'd do more like I'd probably find like a weird like Asian fusion restaurant and be
Ooh.
like, "Oh, let's do this because I like noodles." And she'd be like,
I mean, she's
"Ooh."
a classy lady. I'm sure
She's a
she'd be
classy
down-
lady, you
yeah.
know?
Nice fine
I'm
wine.
unworthy. I wouldn't even try. I'd be like, you know what?
Yeah.
You're out of my league. You're out of my league. I know it. We're just gonna be homies. Like that's gonna be it.
Yeah. I wonder what I would plan if I had a full day with Val Venus.
I think I know.
Only God knows.
Only God knows.
Wow.
You could just paint him like one of your French girls.
I would love to have him on the show since he lives here. I
a
would
lot of
love to
ink.
have him.
You should.
Martin, we're gonna have Val Venus drop his pants on the show one day.
If you have him back, just
Let me get some sensor transitions going.
censor transitions. It's gonna be a big censor bar.
Yeah. All right. One last
Be a
question,
long one.
Jackson.
Yes.
Or just a straightforward thing. So,
Yes.
what can you say to the viewers that may watch this? What can you say? Any last words? Just any last words to anybody out there that may want to hear something to come out of your mouth.
Well, if you want to hear something that comes out of my mouth,
Yeah.
typically what I say, like, I mean, when I'm in this position is I say, if you want to try something, do it. If you're scared to do it, do it. If you think like it's going to be a bad idea, do it. And if you're good at it and you're afraid of being really good at it, then you should really fucking do it. And that's what I say. Just don't be afraid to do it.
And you might
Whatever
fuck
it
up,
is.
but you'll learn from it.
You live this long, and tomorrow's going to come anyway. So you might as well just fucking do it.
Right.
You know?
I saw this crazy statistic where I think we spend almost half of our lives sleeping,
Yeah.
like
We do.
48% or something like that.
And it's like
Sleeping.
if you can do something one time, like no matter what it is, maybe it's just like you built up the courage to like do something nice for somebody or like whatever. Like as long as you leave an impact in a way, I feel like that's when you're succeeding at life, is when you're leaving an impact on people that they remember, that they can like give to somebody else.
Exactly.
You know, like that's the impact I feel like you want to leave. And at least that's the impact I want to leave, is like a
Yeah.
good thing that like has my name not in it, but it was just a sentiment that like I someone
Make a
resonated
difference
with.
somehow,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or something like that. Like I just feel like if you can do it and you can leave an impact, then you're doing right.
Right.
You know?
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And also, look at what I'm wearing. Did Tom ever give up chasing Jerry?
Hell no.
Every day
He never
tried.
did. He never
Every
gave
day.
up.
So, do you think him failing day by day stops him? No, he still
No.
does it.
So what I'm saying is
Yeah.
chase that fucking Jerry. All right.
Chase that fucking rat or mouse. Chase that mouse.
Chase those racks.
Chase those racks.
Don't chase the racks. Chase the mouse. Chase your
Want
dreams.
to chug this? End
Yeah,
it?
let's do it.
Whatever's left of this.
Let's do it.
Thank you, Jackson. Follow him everywhere, TikTok especially. You'll see some sexy stuff. Should we flip
Maybe.
off the camera?
Yeah, sure. Let's do
One,
it.
two,
2, 3. Oh, got him.
There we go. We'll chug it.
Thank you, Martin. Hey, shout out Martin.